November 8th, 2018, regrouping for next session of the Big Cat Act. Our call today for brainstorming and next steps, not decisions. Only Jocelyn from HSUS was on, so we did not get the benefit of input from your other colleagues. That being said, there was a general consensus that the one thing that impaired our bill was that it was complicated and comprehensive, and that we might be better off with two much simpler bills. We talked about one bill that just addressed private ownership, which pretty much means exempting USDA licensees. Maybe in that bill we try some way to address the fact that so many pet owners just obtain a USDA license without being exhibitors. The second bill would focus just on cub petting and photo ops, perhaps using the language in the current bill about the contact and the 15-foot distance. We talked about whether we want to continue to try to accommodate AZA to get them on board despite Jack Hanna and the Columbus Zoo influence there, or just throw in the towel and given their very slow and waffling consensus process, and instead go with language we like and just seek support from the more progressive AZA zoos, like those who signed on to one of our past letters. This latter part, obviously, strategy, not legal, just context, FYI, because it affects drafting. The other possibility I brought up, but we left subject to my chatting with you, is a bill focused on breeding. As we have discussed, Fish and Wildlife Service does no enforcement of the breeding permit requirement we thought were created with the rescission of the generic tiger rule. Separately, the Fish and Wildlife Service interprets the requirement to show a conservation purpose as pay-to-play. So I wonder whether with legislation we could correct this by mandating enforcement of getting a breeding permit, establish a definition of conservation purpose, or whatever the term is, that we like instead of pay-to-play, and perhaps by definition establish that mixed species have no conservation value, so cannot pass the conservation purpose test. So, was wondering if you might have time maybe in the coming week for you and I and perhaps Carole to join us and just bat around the issues of these ideas raise within your area of expertise, like thoughts on how to draft, if possible to draft, relative constitutional strength, if the idea of going after breeding in any way I mentioned above, or any other way is possible from your standpoint. Sound like fun? Howard Baskin, Advisory Board Chairman. It doesn't say who he was writing this to, which would have been very interesting to have included, but I don't remember. If you're enjoying my diary, please like, share, and subscribe. You can find other ways to connect to me over at bigcatrescue.org/Carole.Baskin.